Mark, take us around the world and give us your sense of where the economy is right now. You know, there is a narrative going around right now that while we are expecting good growth in the U.S. this year, 2.6, 2.7%, it's going to drop all the way down to 1.75% in 2019. So what are you expecting from the U.S. as well as some of the other growth markets across the world that you're in?
Well, if you want me to go relatively quickly, I'd say U.S. pretty strong. I think in the U.S. Mid-market, for example, outside the Fortune 500, people are investing in projects they think make sense. I think big companies are investing as well. I think if you have good projects today, if you went back four or 5 years ago, I had to have a 12-month horizon in terms of a payback. Now you see that lengthening a bit. So I think the U.S. economy is good. I think when you go to Europe, it's more of a mixed bag, and it depends a little bit what sector you're in. The banking sector in Europe has some challenges in it, and of course that's one of the biggest sectors in Europe. So Europe a bit mixed. Latin America, of course, had been very strong. Brazil is, as bad as it was, I believe, is beginning to recover a bit. And Asia, okay. I think Asia's been the same. I wouldn't say exciting, but the same over the past the couple of years. So I think the economy is okay. It's hard to generalize, Maria, based on countries and industries because it's a little bit different in each. But if I had to generalize, that's how I do it.
Mark, let me ask you about the jobs picture right now. We had the April jobs report out on Friday. It showed a weaker than expected number of jobs added to the economy. But, this market seems tight. A number of people are noticing labor shortages. Do you feel that the market right now is getting tight in terms of you finding the people that you need to put into the jobs that are available?
Well, as opposed to giving you a quick answer, I think, which I know you'd like, I think the answer is you can find people. In terms of quantity of people, we can certainly find people. It's very competitive for the great people in the market. And certainly it isn't just, Maria, about finding the quality of people and finding people that you think will be good, but in our case, the people we think will be great at Oracle. And so a lot of our effort, frankly, even in our applications, our HR applications, our human resource applications, recruiting is such an important part of it that when we recruit, we use all the intelligence we have, use the data, use machine-to-machine learning to best understand, if the company was interviewing both you and I, we might have different raw skills, but who would be the better fit for us and what we've got to do? And so that's what we're really focused on. But you can get quantity. The quality, it's very competitive for the best people. Right,
because these are very high-paying jobs. And that's what I keep hearing from businesses. I asked Treasury Secretary Stephen Mnuchin about this, but listen to what he said. What do you say to managers when they say, and I'm sure you've heard it, I've heard it a lot, I can't find the people to put in the jobs that I have available? Is that about training?
I think some of it is training, but I'm not hearing that from the companies I speak to.
He says he's not hearing it from the companies he's speaking to, and yet, the Journal wrote about it last week that the labor market is tightening, forcing wages up, even if it's not to the extent that we thought it was.
Yeah, I mean, again, my view of the labor market falls into a couple of categories: engineers and really salespeople, which are the two primary functions in our company. We, generally speaking, make stuff and we sell stuff. We also support stuff, and we have a lot of other functions at the company, but those are the two big core building blocks. Engineers have always been tight, Maria. This is not a new story. We have not produced enough engineers in the United States to fill all of the engineering jobs in the United States, and that's been going on a while.
So that's
been exacerbated by but it's more than training. It's just number of people available in the market. There's another problem in engineering, which has been that many people that study in U.S. engineering schools, we'd like to keep in the country, but because they come from outside the country, sometimes they're not allowed to stay. And so we could get into a longer conversation about all of these immigration issues. But the ability to keep talent, somebody goes to one of our great schools, we let them study here, but we don't let them stay here to practice. That's also hurt the ability for us to fill engineering roles in the country. So, and then for another set, there's competitive amongst those those that are left. So this is not a new story about more engineers, more engineering skills available to companies. On the sales side, we find great kids on the college campus, Maria.
Really?
I mean, the quality of the quality of young people available today on the college campus. We hire from the college campus. We train our own, and we find fantastic talent. Give you an example: 6% of all the young people in college that we offer a job to accept it.
Yeah.
So we do a very, we think, great job screening and hiring and training.
Those are higher paying jobs, right? Engineering.
Engineering and sales are both great, entry levels jobs. But yes, engineering are high paying jobs.
Mark, real quick on regulation. Do you think we're going to see tighter regulation out of this government on technology?
Out of the United States government on technology?
Yeah, given the issues around privacy and what we just saw take place around Facebook, wondering if you are expecting, a new era when it comes to the regulatory environment on tech.
Well, I mean, obviously, I'd like to see the companies regulate themselves. I mean, I'll give you an example. Just in our cloud, all of the data, customer data, is actually encrypted. So just to be, so you'd understand what that means is that even the people at Oracle,
right,
if you had your data in our cloud, you wouldn't even be able to see it.
So the regulating yourselves is critical there. Mark, great to have you on the program. Thanks so much.
Thanks, Maria.
Good luck with the Media Day. Mark Hurd.